Yeah, it's a crying shame.
Yeah. You know that place I was telling you about, you know, where I work? I mean, that place should operate like a well-oiled machine, like a clock. Bloody place hardly works at all.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what my opinion is? I reckon that the whole flaming country's in danger of going the same way, you know, to the dogs.
Well, I'll drink. To the dogs.
To the dogs. I don't know.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You want another?
Yeah, why not?
Now, look, you take my wife.
Yeah.
No. You wouldn't have her as a gift. You married?
Separated.
I know what you mean.
I know. You know my wife, you know, she rang me at work today. I mean, she's always ringing me when I'm on duty. You know what she tells me? The flaming kid's sick. I mean, she hasn't even got enough nous to ring a doctor. I mean, I have to organise everything for her. I mean, you wouldn't read about it, would you, eh?
Drive you to drink?
You're not kidding. So what do you think you're playing at, eh? You're always spying on me. Man can't even have a few quiet drinks with his mates without you snooping about. Make me sick.
If you was my missus...
Oh, shut up.
Okay, thanks, Matthew. You can tuck your shirt in again now.
Well, Doctor?
Those tablets I gave you yesterday had no effect, you say?
They didn't appear to.
Well, I'm sorry. Please sit down, Mrs. Fletcher.
Thank you.
I don't know really what to suggest. He's using an inhaler, isn't he?
Yes.
You realize, of course, that asthma is very often a psychosomatic illness brought about by some emotional distress or other. Is there anything you know of which might be causing him such distress?
Well, I do know that the attacks have only really started since Jim and I split up.
And he didn't suffer prior to that at all?
I don't think so. Not much, anyway.
And they've been progressively worse?
Only lately, really.
Any reason?
Well, Jim doesn't visit as often as he used to.
I see.
I think Matthew really misses him.
Well, Mrs. Fletcher, I'm no psychiatrist, and I'm only going to be stating the obvious, but it seems to me that Matthew's illness is very largely dependent on an emotional reaction to the breakdown in your marriage. The only thing I can suggest is that perhaps if Mr. Fletcher visited more frequently, then we might see an improvement.
I don't think Jim would take too kindly if I told him something like that. Well, don't get me wrong, he loves the children. He's not too keen on me, though. Well, that's an understatement, really.
Well, perhaps if I had a word with him.
Oh, would you, Doctor?
Yes, I'll phone him at Wentworth later.
Oh, I'd be so grateful.
It's no trouble at all. Meanwhile, keep taking those tablets that I gave you yesterday, and we'll see how he is in a couple of days. Okay, young man?
Come on.
Now, you take care of yourself, all right?
Yeah. Thanks, Doctor.
Bye-bye.
Anyone anything further to add on that point?
Nope.
Fine. Well, we'll move on to the last but by no means least item on the agenda, Antonia McNally.
Oh, she's a cold fish, that one.
Yes, I'm sure she is, Vera. And given her outside connections, releasing her into this prison does worry me a little.
Well, why release her at all? Why not keep her in solitary?
Well, you can't keep someone in solitary forever without a very good reason, Jim.
I think murder's a pretty good reason.
Suspected murder.
There are other murderers in here, too, you know.
None of them have got her heavy connections on the other side of the wall.
Well, I'd say there couldn't be too much doubt about her myself. She looks as if she'd cut your throat as soon as look at you.
Can hardly wait to meet her.
Looks are hardly a proof of guilt. I am as concerned as you are. But her mandatory 24-hour period of observation is over, so I don't think we have any choice. Is there anything else? Meg?
I don't even know the lady.
Well, now's your chance. You can release her from solitary and take her to a cell.
Thanks.
I still think she's a potential danger.
And I agree with Mr. Fletcher.
She has been passed as sane by the police psychologist. And her supposed crime is not of the nature that would ostracize her from the other prisoners. Thank you, Meg.
Well, I wasn't worried about what they might do to her, rather the other way round.
Thank you. That will be all.
You can make up your bed straight away.
How come I get a single?
You're only in on remand. We don't expect remand prisoners to have to share with hardened criminals.
I see.
Very thoughtful.
The dinner bell's at 5:15. You report to the dining room as soon as it goes. You'll also respond to other bells and orders from officers immediately. Behave yourself and you should be all right.
Yes. Thank you.
Good day, Tone. Remember me? You know, Fag.
Of course I do. How are you, Lizzie?
I just thought I'd pop up and ask you if you'd like to come down the rec room, meet all the others, eh?
Certainly. Oh, I have to make up my bed. You wouldn't like to help me, would you? It'd be worth your while.
The thing I like most about being with you lot is you're so bloody stimulating.
Geez, this is boring. I used to watch this program when I come home from school years ago.
Well, come and play cards then.
No, I don't feel like it.
What about you, Kathleen? Game of 500?
Don't know how.
Well, anything then. Bloody snap.
Don't know how.
Oh, God, roll on dinner time. Maybe you'll choke on a potato. That'd be a high spot in an adventure-filled day.
Drop off. All right, everybody. This is Tone. She's a friend of mine. This here's Monica. And this is Kathleen. And over there's my old mate, Dor.
Pleased to meet you all.
Charmed. You play cards?
Some.
Beauty, come sit down, Tone.
Not just now, thanks.
What's your full name?
Why?
Just being polite?
Antonia McNally.
Not the Antonia McNally.
Yeah, well, pleased to meet you, Tony.
Me too, Tony. Extremely pleased. Delighted.
Thanks. Kathleen, wasn't it?
Call us Kath.
All right, now, who is she?
Mrs. Antonia McNally.
I know that already, so what?
So what?
Would you stop repeating everything I say? What's the big bloody deal?
Her husband's only the Mr. Sean McNally.
Oh, terrific. My husband's only the Mr. Fred Ferguson, so what?
God, you're dumb. Her husband's one of the biggest men in the business. Everybody knows that.
Do they just?
Of course. Pros, drugs, gambling, booze, you name it, he's in it. He's the king. He's a real Mr. Big.
Good.
See, I told you. I gave her a fag. She's my mate. I told you.
Doesn't look too good, does he?
No. Well, at least he's sleeping peacefully now. Was awfully sick earlier.
What did Greg say?
Greg?
Dr. Miller.
Oh, didn't he tell you when he phoned?
No, he just said that I should talk to you.
Oh. We're not doing too well, are we?
Eh?
At talking.
No, I suppose not. What did he say?
Well, he said that the main problem was that you weren't seeing enough of him, of Matthew.
Yeah, well, I suppose we shouldn't let the way we feel about each other affect the kids. I suppose I could make a bit more of an effort. Look, I tell you what, the department owes me a ton of leave. Maybe I could get a couple of weeks off. Take them camping or something. What do you think?
Well, what about school?
Well, I don't know. Shouldn't affect them too much at their age, should it?
Oh, it'd be all right while they were with you, but what about after? I mean, 2 weeks of you and then nothing.
No, I could come and see them more often.
Or next to nothing, then. I mean, I don't see how it could help. It might make Matthew worse in the long run.
What am I supposed to do? Come back and live here?
Well, I don't know. It's a possibility.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Yeah, I could come out and sleep on the couch whenever your fancy man's around.
Oh, don't be so childish.
You don't deny that he exists.
No, I don't. Well, what do you expect me to do? Go to my grave celibate? I'm just the same as everybody else. I need to be held on to occasionally. I'm not going to become a nun.
No.
Well, you're no bloody Archbishop of Canterbury yourself, jumping into bed with the first tart that comes along.
Once, Leela, only once, and you know why I did that.
All in the line of duty.
Duty had nothing to do with it. That money was supposed to bring us together. Boy, you really conned me on that one, didn't you?
What do you mean I conned you? I didn't even know about it.
Look, Leela, you told me the problem between us was money. Well, I got the money. So what are you trying to tell me now?
I just don't see how it would be possible at the present time.
I'm long overdue for leave. I haven't had a holiday in nearly 2 years.
I am sorry, really.
It's not as if I'm asking for favours. They owe me leave. And believe me, it's for very good reasons.
Perhaps if you gave the department the reason